Hello everybody, it's Mrs. Pound, and I am back with the final video for Chapter 2.1 on viruses from Purposeful Design Life Science. The last section that we're going to talk about is Section 2.13 on viruses and the world. So our objectives today are to name several diseases that viruses can cause and describe how vaccines work. So I'm sure many of you have had immunizations for different uh, viruses, and also you've probably, if you have a pet, given them some immunizations as well. And one of those is for rabies, because rabies is a potentially fatal viral disease transmitted by the bite of an infected animal. And so dogs are very susceptible to this because they are outside and can be bitten by an animal that carries rabies and then can transmit that to us. So that is why it's important to have dogs and cats vaccinated against rabies. Because it's a terrible disease. Now, if you are worried that you have been bitten by an animal that may have rabies because it was acting funny, they tend to foam at the mouth, be very aggressive. Nocturnal animals that are out during the day maybe have rabies as well. Then you can receive a vaccine after you've been bitten as well to so that you do not get the disease. Influenza, something we have all had. It is a contagious viral infection that causes muscle aches, inflammation of the respiratory system, fever, and chills. And we also do have a vaccine against this. There's also, maybe you've heard of AIDS. This is a condition that destroys the body's immune system. It's caused by a retrovirus, so it hides in our immune system, and that's why it was very difficult to treat at first. And it causes the disease HIV. The virus causes the disease. HIV is the virus, human immunodeficiency virus, causes AIDS. Autoimmunity deficiency syndrome is what AIDS stands for. And this is something that is transferred through body fluids like blood. So, ways viruses can spread among humans. They can spread through droplets in the air, things like influenza, the common cold, chickenpox, measles, COVID 19. That's the reason we're being advised to wear masks right now, is because those things spread through the air. And so, if we cough or sneeze, it's not being projected as far. Also, through infected food or drink. Hepatitis A is spread this way. That's why it's important to wash hands um, so that we're not spreading viruses through food or drink. Through exchange of body fluids, HIV, hepatitis B and C, and rabies are spread this way. It must be spread through body fluids, things like blood. That's why if somebody is bleeding, you're to put gloves on, or if you touch their blood, you're to wash your hands immediately afterwards. Through mosquitoes, yellow fever is spread this way. Um, as because the mosquito is a vector for spreading that disease. So in areas like that, you would have mosquito netting. You would wear bug repellent, insect repellent to protect yourselves, cover up to protect yourselves against getting something like yellow fever. So, how a vaccine works. A vaccine is a weakened or killed virus that is injected into the body. Now, it can also be a part of the virus, a protein from it. It can be, we now have the mRNA vaccines. It could be mRNA as well. The body begins producing the necessary antibodies to ward off infection without actually causing illness. So, because it's weakened or a part or killed, it's able to do that. Vaccines use weakened or killed viruses, not strong live viruses, because the goal is to produce antibodies, not illness. And if you do have a reaction, that is actually your body's immune system reacting to the vaccine. It's not something, it does not mean that you have the disease, it's your body's reaction, that fever, those aches, those chills. Cells in the body prevent the same virus from infecting the person more than once by producing memory cells. So we want those antibodies and then those memory cells in our bodies to prevent an infection again. Now, measles and mumps vaccines protect for a lifetime against these diseases. However, people get a flu shot every year because, maybe this is something you wondered, the flu virus mutates so quickly that each year new strains arise that need new vaccines. Older vaccines do not protect against the new strains. This is the same thing that's going on with COVID-19, is that it's mutating, and so there is concern that the current vaccines have to be changed to keep up with the mutations. So, our objectives today were to name several diseases that viruses can cause and describe how vaccines work. So, don't forget your 5 questions in your notes and keep watching the video to answer the questions at the end.